Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I want my
I was just having
for the
some
ball.
fun.
Your mother
You
died
really
because
think-
of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
In the arena, battle calls our name. Shadow rise, we're chasing fame. Legends born in the glow of the screen. Every move feels like a dream. Fight, fight with all your might. Glory waits under the neon light. Rise, rise, rise to claim your crown. Shadow rise, won't back down. Strategies unfold like a master plan. Every hero, every fan, dive into the fray with hearts of steel. Our destiny is all we feel. Fight, fight with all your might. Glory waits under the neon light. Rise, rise, rise to claim your crown. Shadow rise, won't back down. Unstoppable, we're igniting the spark. Brush off defeat, we hone every mark. Stand together, this is our time. Synchronize in perfect rhyme. Fight, fight with all your might. Glory waits under the neon light. Rise, rise, rise to claim your crown. Shadow rise, won't back down.
Good evening,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Champion of the Realm Season 2, and this is going to be the first day of the league stage, and it starts off with none other than ABM facing off against LCF. This will be me, Sarah, alongside none other than Zevo. So, Zevo, please take over.
hello, Sarah. Finally, after having quite a long break, we are finally back again in this, round three, day 10. It is gonna be the first week of the league stage where the top eight teams will be facing off against each other and trying to secure the top four positions so that they can go off to face in the semifinals, and it's gonna be quite of an interesting match. All of them are gonna be best of three series, and there will be a point system, so you still got a lot of chances to redeem yourself. But overall, first match already, it's gonna be a really interesting match because it is none other than Team LCF going against Team ABM right now. So on to the draft phase, we already see three heroes that's getting banned out. Two of the Leonins, and of course Granger and Matilda. So I would say all of them are quite the standard bans so far. What do you have to say about that?
You are correct about the fact that all of these bans are very standard, except for LCF just banning out that Louis. Just respect banning Peter so very much from the side of ABM. On the other hand, though, this time LCF does have their standard draft picks open. The Padang is open, and so is Lucas as well as the Flurry. That combo is just so deadly these days. And even on towards the goal lane, if you want to pick up the Moskov and the Irithel. But okay, they're gonna disregard everything and just secure their mid lane with the strongest pick available right now, which is going to be the Sicilian.
Yep, Sicilian as the first pick, as you said, quite strong, and guaranteeing the late game security for them. So overall, Sicilian as a first pick, quite, I would say, quite common. Getting out, prioritizing the top top heroes in the current meta. So of course that is something LCF is going to be doing. But on to the other hand, ABM just decides to go for the Lucas jungle paired with that Phobius. I personally I feel like Phobius is quite a bit early. They could have still prioritized other heroes. But still, it is ABM that we're talking about, and looking at the lineup right now, I guess they were picking for the hero and their counter both.
Exactly so. At this point, it's like whatever hero one team picks up, the other team just seems to be countering that. And like judging by the fact that it is either Jay or Puni going to be the jungler from the side of ABM, that Lucas is a very, very viable option. And now the Jawhead pick just completes the draft for their EXP jungle and roam, because that Jawhead can just throw the alpha once he dives into a team fight without having any kind of answer from the side of Team LCF unless they find a different kind of counter for it. On towards the second ban phase though, Zevo, we can see the Farsa, Badang and Irithel getting banned out, and the last ban, it might as well be the Selena just to ban out Peter's hero pool completely.
Yeah, I agree with you. Peter on that Loi and that Selena, those two are, quite most picks of Peter that left a quite of a bit, strong impression in my opinion at least, because his diversions were really something else.
from Johit, the Phobius, and even the Lucas, those two tanky front lines from LCF wouldn't really stand that much of a chance. But then again, the Nathan and the Sicilian might pose a real threat to that carry, since magic damage is something which really does counter no matter how much true damage she does. But okay, on towards the EXP, we can see a Terizla pick coming in. That is something really unusual from the side of LCF. It's not very common to be seen in the drafts these days as well. But okay, we're going to see how they work around that. But ABM's draft being completed with that Eve is just cherry on top of the icing. That is just a very, very perfect draft to counter the Alpha as well as the Sicilian.
Yep, yep. Okay, looking at the draft, it looks a little bit, quite interesting. The Eve was there. I saw that Eve and Terisla as well. It's been long since we saw Terisla, but going against the Phobius, I think it should work out. What do you have to say about that?
It will work out to the fact, like to the extent that he will be able to deal a lot of crowd control to that carry, especially the carry and the Lucas once he uses the penalty zone. But then again, he is kind of an immobile hero, and Phobius, Lucas, they're all going to utilize it to their advantage. But with that, we are into the land of Donze when we can see that both of these teams are going to be giving it their very best today.
Yep, their very best. Still, it's a best of three series, so the first game, I guess they can go for a little bit more analysis, analyzing onto their opponent. But overall, the teams are quite into the scene for quite a long time, so they kind of know almost everything about each other, so they can just go all out, in my opinion. But already look at that, some poking games coming in from both the teams just here and there. Lucas, focusing on the EXP more rather than the gold though.
Exactly. But on towards that, the Hylas trying that poke game and the Alpha just stealing away the jungle from the side of ABM. The smart move, okay, the Eve.
Eve, definitely she had to, flicker out to escape from that so that he does not give away the first bullet to the side of LCF. But look at the Sandwin claws connecting to Apex, just goes in with that ejector. A fight Spear of Alpha comes in from Raren, but it won't be enough of a damage to land a kill on anyone.
Exactly, those were really smart plays coming up. But oh my goodness, Romcom finds the kill onto Anti in the EXP lane. That there goes the first blood, which means that the first turtle is also going to be easily in favor on the side of Team LCM. But Puni takes away the retribution, Zevo.
Yep. Just comes in just to take the retribution, but he will be paying with his life. Bronkov takes the kill, and Raren will be onto the chopping block next. And who is Peter? Gets the double kill, staying with Ronkom, trading the kills out for each of the teams. And look at that. Apex just
Okay, and these two teams are just going to be brawling it out since the first 2 minutes of the game itself. 3-3, but 500 goal lead in favor of ABM just because of that turtle steal away by Puni. And now we
won't be a
can
game
see.
ABM.
Okay, welcome back, Zable. We couldn't really hear you there.
Blue team hero has been slain.
I do think there's a bit of a technical issue on the side of Zevo, but then again, as we can see, Apex trying for that ejector play again, but Asuna with the good sidestep to save himself as well as his flicker under the tier 1 in the mid lane. But on towards the top, Raren finds a kill onto Anti again. That early game aggression from Lucas on towards the EXP is now being mirrored by LCF on to Anti instead. And we can see that the second turtle is going to be coming up very soon. And as for the goal lead, it is still in favor of Team AVM. Just a little bit, but it's there. And it might just help Lucas to secure the turtle once again. But as we can see, Eve is going to be positioning herself very safe to try and find the possible real manipulation on the correct targets. There was a glorious pathway, and even the anti being coming in, jumping right away into the team fight. And the real manipulation actually catches four of them, and it's range. Anti finds a kill onto Rara, and Peter finds Rudy as Pony steals away the turtle. But Nathan is there with his ultimate, finds the kill onto Apex, the only sacrifice from the side of ABM, and now Romcom is in danger as well, will be taken down by Carrie and Anti together as Team ABM completely wiped out Team LCF right there, as well as stole away the turtle, securing a massive 3k goal lead from just one team fight, all in their favor.
Yep. The initiation was from the side of LCF, but they kind of lost around that team fight, and AVM kind of got on top of them. But still, look at Apex not giving up, going for Rudy. Takes a kill in his hands. His glorious pathway was not able to help him at all. Puni still tries to go for Raren right there, but he's quite low. He was not able to escape with this pair of Alpha. But again, Eve trying to go for the real world manipulation. The zoning is definitely there. Nathan gets taken down. Same with Boo on to the Sicilian. So the onslaught coming in from AVM is just too much, and also coming in from all of the directions. But look at the positioning of AVM right now.
Exactly, so they have the map advantage and they know that, and they are simply capitalizing on it so well. Now we can see that the goal lead has moved on to 5,000 now, and even the turrets are falling down left and right. They have the tier 1 on all the lanes and will be looking for the top tier 2, because that is going to be the most important tier 2 they need to take down before the Lord comes up very soon. And that is going to be good. Look at Anti, he's trying to go in.
Yep, and he initiates a team fight. Infernal pursued their glorious pathway that is coming in, but look at that. ABM, they are quite low. Anti gets forced to get back, but the Born Beta guy will be falling in the hands of Puni, and same with Raren as well. So in a team fight, ABM is going to be looking for the top tier 2
Exactly. So, but Abram actually took down the third turtle, if I'm not wrong, in this game itself, and now they have an easy access to that tier 2 on towards the top. And with that, they will be moving towards the other lanes just to get those neutral objectives. The only way LCF can come back from here is if the Nathan and the Sicilian find those important shutdowns on towards Lucas, Peter, and Min on that carry. But the problem is they aren't getting
by
enough front line because Rudy as well as Raren are getting melted down really fast even before the team fight has reached a major stage.
Yep, yep, definitely. ABM, they are dishing out a lot of team fights, a lot of damages, and Team LCF, they are not able to find the common ground, the ground that they are, supposed to get back their feet on. The solid ground is kind of missing. The ground is quite slippery right now because of ABM just going over all of the battlefield for them. So they've lost pretty much significant amount of the map control and their turrets as well, and it's kind of looking hard for them to take on any team fight right now, while ABM is the one trying to force a team fight in any in any situation that they can go for.
Exactly. So, and ABM will be the ones playing on those little pickoffs and just freezing and sinking the lanes because the more the minions travel towards the side of LCA, the more stacks Asuna will be getting on towards that Sicilian. That is what the ABM wants to avoid right now, and that is exactly what they are doing. They're looking for the pickouts. Like, look at that, getting melted out left and right.
Yep. First one to fall on was the marksman, followed by almost all of them. A triple kill goes in for Mint right there on that carry. Romcom is the only one remaining to defend the minions that is coming towards them, and the Lord is already up. So it is gonna be quite the uncontested Lord for the side of ABM right now. LCF can't really go around do anything, and I think that is a really good disciplined gameplay coming from ABM. Taking a team fight before securing the neutral objectives for like any of the given situation.
Exactly so. And if you didn't notice, Peter, Andy, and Puni all picked up the anti throw potion right away. Probably it's just a thing going on in their voice chat right now. The Apex telling them, pick up the anti throw potion. I don't know who I'm going to throw in the middle of all the team fights. The internal jokes all going on right now.
Yep.
But
Yep.
then again, talking about the match itself, it's a massive 11,000 goal lead, and that Lucas can just go in and snowball on the Sicilian Nathan so very easily, finding that correct targets, and even the Hylos, Terizla, or the Alpha won't stand no chance because Carrie, she's almost on full build. That's four core items in her favor, and the Lord is going to be charging right down in the mid turret, but thanks to the new update, the Lord gets taken down a little too easily, and it's only the glorious pathway being used defensively.
Yep, used defensively to get away, but they are trying to get a team fight on to look at that. Ruby is the first one to fall down, followed by almost all of them. That is a maniac for Mint, and I think, Puni, he kind of took the savage from away from Mint, but that is an unofficial savage, I would say. But a full team wipeout along with the base getting popped out. Quite a fast-paced match against LCF that ABM is picking off right now.
Exactly. So they're in the complete that serious mood. It's there. They're like no mistakes. Just go in, take the turrets, come out, win this, and we are out of here. Because that is what
Yep.
ABM has been known for. They had their like a little bit of a downtime in between, but they are back into the scene and they have secured a 1-0 in this best of three.
Yep. So next game is gonna be the match point for both the teams because either it's gonna be a 2-0 full sweep or it's gonna be a comeback coming in from the side of LCF, right? So LCF, they're gonna be trying their best to come back at this game because even if it's the Swiss stage, you can't really afford to lose any of your points because the more points you get, the higher you will be in the leaderboard. So like better safe than to be sorry. So I just hope they collect their thoughts together and try to come back more stronger in the next match.
Exactly. So, first game done and dusted. We'll be right back after a very short break because the teams are ready and ABM is looking for that match point as LCF will be the ones to look for that comeback. Be right back. Stay tuned.
Alpha, my dear
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I want my
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel.
And with that, we are back into game number 2. ABM with the 1-0 lead at the moment on the scoreboard, and LCF will be looking for their redemption to look for that first score in their favor and settle it to a 1-1. Or is ABM going to clean sweep this? We don't know anything. It is all going to depend on the drafts, and right away we are starting the draft with a Selena ban coming in from the side of ABM. Zevo.
Yep, sides have been swapped, and right off the bat, the first ban is gonna be Selena. So, this time they just decide they'll just ban out that Selena. They won't be giving Peter that Selena nor giving LCF. So, quite interesting. I feel like they might pick up a Farsa, but then again, there are a lot of there are a lot of heroes that can be banned out aside from that Selena. So um it's I guess it's kind of a respect ban that would be coming in.
Exactly. It is directed towards Asuna, I'm quite sure, because Peter and Asuna, they are the two most deadly Selena users in the server at the moment. But then again, the Juxian ban, that's just pure straight up meta. And I guess ABM would once again be looking to pick up on the Lucas or the Suyo as their first pick, the two best junglers at the moment. But they go in with a Matilda ban, and LCF answers that with a Harriet ban. So definitely, Zeba, what do you think the third bans are going to be?
Ooh, right? There is like it's highly possible that it might be a Suyo, but then again, they decide they don't want to give out that creature in the first pick. So I guess despite Granger having quite a lot of counters like the Irithel or the Moscow, they still decide to ban him out. So okay, despite having this Suyu open as well, ABM, they are just gonna be picking out the Lucas. So quite surprising not picking out that Suyo, but I feel like they might be going for a similar draft just like the last match.
Exactly, like if those heroes are open for them, they might actually be looking to play those comfort heroes all in their favor. But okay, Asuna here will be locking in on the Farsa, which means that this time Peter is going to have a much harder time in the mid lane as well as the gold laner, especially if they want to pick up the carry. But the answer to the Farsa is going to be none other than Peter's signature Luowi. So definitely here ABM has a strategy. They are utilizing it to their very best potential, don't you think so?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Peter on Louis is something every team needs to uh, fair up, whether it be any given team, because he plays Louis like none other. So if I were me, I would probably be shaking my hands right now. But I think LCF they can go around with Peter because you know they they are quite acquainted with him. So it is gonna be quite of another interesting match, I would say, because ABM, looking at the draft, they are just gonna be going all out, not giving any chance of LCF to have a comeback. And that infamous Loi and Jawhead combo, it's gonna come in. It's gonna, Jawhead is gonna come in with the ejector. Loi might target the backline with her diversion. So it's kind of a really deadly combo in my opinion.
Exactly so, and this time Mr. Von Viraga is going to be picking up on his Beatrix. So this is going to be a legit battle of signature heroes versus signature heroes, and to counter that, Phoveus anti picks up none other than the Jellyman the Glue, and Mint will be locking in on his Moscow, who is going to have actually a better late game potential as compared to the Beatrix, especially once completes that Trinity build. And that DHS is going to be proving really useful against the Bakshia. Is it going to be? Oh, wait, it's a Bakshia jungle. That is definitely something new and unexpected, but then again, it is being tried out by the top teams these days, so definitely LCF has a plan here. Despite of there being no healer on their side, the Bakshia jungle might actually work if both Phobias and Karukaja decide to go in for the revitalized spells.
Yes, said it might just work out really well. And the draws are complete for both the teams, and both are looking quite quite of a good draft, I would say, in my opinion. They've got almost everything that one needs in a full 5v5 tournament like this. So the draft is completed, so it's gonna be the execution part, which is gonna come out very soon. So we just gotta wait and watch how the teams are gonna be playing out, because they're gonna be giving up their A game, and it also depends on how much you score. Because if you get a clean sweep, that is 3 points for you. If you get 2 wins, that is 2 points for you. So the more faster you complete the games, the more less of a game you finish, the more points that you're gonna be getting. So ABM, they're gonna be putting that to all of their whole advantage. So yeah, gonna be really big of an interesting match.
That is one because LCF here, they are looking for their opening point, and APM, they are simply looking to end the game as fast as possible and seal the series in their favor, and secure as many points as they can for the Swiss stage. Because this is what happens when two top teams face off. First game, it just goes complete one sided domination, and the second game, the other team usually bounces back. But this time, is Elsif going to be able to manage that on their behalf? Because their draft, though quirky, it can actually work out. While the side of ABM, they have their tried and tested picks, the Lucas, Johed, Luoi, just completely working out all in their favor, and it is also their comfort draft. So obviously, ABM does have a little bit of an upper hand in terms of draft, but LCF, do they have the mechanics to counter that comfort with their gameplay?
We are gonna be finding that out very soon. But look at that right off the bat in front of our screens. Apex is the second one to fall down near the turtle fight, and Puni just takes that turtle and alongside Rudy as well. But yeah, look at that. Farsa landing one kill as a trade onto their side, and there is gonna be Anti, who will be trying to run for his life away, but will he be able to escape? Because Farsa tries to go in with a Wings by Wings passive. Romcom is there as well, just goes for the turret dive, and one more kill in the hands of APM right now.
And as we were speaking, this time Romcom is on his main hero as well, the Phobius, who has a 203. That's 100% team fight participation out of the 5 kills LCF has. And this time, Avium is actually on the back foot as of right now. They really need to wait for the Moscow to scale up if they want to make a
Red
comeback
team
from this.
hero has
Because,
been slain.
okay, the Peter does find an off camera kill onto Raren. That's something good. But is it really enough to make up for that early game advantage which LCF now has? With Beatrix and Romcom, they are really going to be snowballing their lane opponents at the moment.
Hmm. I definitely agree with you. But if we look at how ABM has to drop ahead, it's kind of a slow, gradual damage that will be coming in. But again, look at that. A diversion comes in from the top, trying to go for bomb beta guy, but he does spot them out. He will be playing it safe and just gonna be avoiding any more team fight because LCF they already got the lead, so they would not want to waste that lead away in any unnecessary team fight. But yeah, the goal lead is not that much. It's 500 right now, so they still gotta play it safe.
Exactly so, but the major problem in the team fights on towards the late is going to be the Farsa. She's going to zone Peter as well as Mint really far away from the team fights, which means that even if Anti and Apex engage with the best of their potential, they are going to be zoned out. But because look at that once again.
Once again onto the back line. If you notice, Raron was thrown away by Jawhead and his ejector, but again Apex will be losing his life, followed by Anti right there, and LCF they are finding quite a great ground this time. Mint is the third one to fall down. Puni really low. Bronco still goes for it, but he was targeted by the turret, so he will be flickering away. That was a 3-for-0 trade, so it worked out really well in the favor of LCF. And plus, they took the turtle, so that's kind of a huge win for their side.
Exactly. So that is what the Farsa pick really does for your team, along with the guard. Well, look at that, Mint completely unaware, and Asna will be doing Asna things. But okay, will Mint be able to escape? He actually does, as well as baits out on
Oh my
Asna's flicker,
god!
and that over aggression gets answered perfectly by who is Peter.
Yep, yep, yep. That was quite of an unnecessary, unnecessary positioning, I would say, because even if you have your wings by wings passive, if you get caught, then it will be kind of game over for you. And you had almost no teammate nearby, so that was quite a very risky move. And you kind of paid the price for that. You would not want to do that, but still it's looking really rough for Team ABM right now. They might have the chance to bounce back because Peter, he is farming up on that Luoi slowly but surely, and we all know how much Luoi hurts with her duality. And if you put her, diversion onto great use, then it is gonna be a big game changer. You never know what a good diversion will do to your winning game. But still, look at that. Reren tries to go in, but he gets caught up. The feathered airstrike is definitely there to zone them out, but look at Glue goes for the backline onto Raren, really low, but he won't be dishing out much damage. 5 people onto his pursuit. Will he be able to escape? He is trying his best, but
Slain.
he won't be able to. Born Beta Guy takes one more kill in his hands, and Raren off to look for that turtle trade. Puni and Apex are there. Romcom has joined him. Really great zoning coming in. Puni has taken down solo kill for Romcom right there. Peter onto the rescue, but he won't be dishing out much damage, and Raren takes the turtle from ABM yet again, and Mint gets taken down in the hands of the Born Beta guy on that Beatrice. So Beatrice is dishing out a lot of damage, but look at that. Boo gets taken down in the hands of Apex. So a jawhead coming onto you, really, really something that you would not want, and same with a phobias pursuing you. So quite a lot of traits coming in from both the teams. Ronkom surviving somehow on to look at that. Puni gets taken down as well. So overall, that was quite a long team fight.
Blue team turret has been
Exactly. So LCF just showing complete domination, and this game and Alien is trying their best to look for a possible comeback, but the damage out potential coming in. But okay, there is the first important shutdown which ABM really needed, but Rudy will be finding that kill perfectly on the Apex, just a quick answer for taking down the goal laner. And ABM, they really need to wait for Peter's diversion plays and Apex's throws to actually get a little bit of an advantage in this game if they want to win. Because otherwise, LCF has a perfect path set out for them right in front of them to just completely take this match in their hands.
Yep. As we speak about diversion, they are gonna be creating a diversion to have the mid lane turret pushed. So as I was gonna say, the game is really in the hands of anyone, but still LCF is leading by 3k gold right now, and it's really important to mark out the main damage dealer, which would be the Born Beta guy onto Beatrice right now, because he's the one at the back line, dealing a lot of damage, dishing out a lot of damage, and he will hurt over a gradually over time. So it's quite important that you mark out the marksman. But so far, look at that. Romcom goes for the pursuit onto Min, gets taken down. Same with Peter, though that is 2 kills in the hands of LCF right now, and ABM gets chased back right before the Lord. So it's kind of a similar situation that we are seeing like the last match, but this time it will be the LCF initiating all of the all of the team fights, taking away all of the neutral objectives.
Exactly. So, and right now, Team LCF, they already have the first Lord in their favor, and ABM is still looking for a possible. But look at the diversion play coming in, but it is going to be too far away for Apex to actually engage with his team. But look at that, Zewo.
Yeah, he was quite off position, so he will be getting taken down, followed by Peter yet again. Same with Mint. So basically, the three Trinity, which the mage, the marksman, and the Roma, three of them, which deals most of the damage, are getting taken down. And ABM, they are not really able to do anything with two of them remaining. Same with Puni gets taken down, but Romcom does give his life away. So it's really the game is really in the hands of LCF right now. But ABM, once again, they are actually, this time they are the ones who are not able to find the solid ground that they are needing, because LCF, they are being really really aggressive with that phobias with his Inferno Pursuit, and the feathered airstrike from coming parts from the back line as well. But AOG connects onto two-person. Apex is the first one to fall down once again, and onto the backline. Rudy does get taken down in the hands of Anti, but he won't be surviving from the Born Beta guy. Double kill in his hands. Mint trying to go for him, but he is quite low. He will be getting taken out. Puni gets chased by Roncom. Yeah, he does give away his life yet again. So Peter is the only one remaining to defend the base. Apex will be coming out soon, but it is a 3 2 versus 4 trying to defend the whole base, and Apex once again had to use his flicker to get away. Oh my goodness, the duality coming in takes 4 people, stuns 4 people out, but the base, look at the HP of the base. LCM just trying to end the whole match, but they won't be succeeding. But look at that, the Borbita guy really low. Rudy tries to go in with the EOG, but won't be connecting. SOD does connect. Borbita guy gets taken out in the hands of Mint right there. Rudy might be onto the chopping block next, and he does get taken out. So ABM, they finally got the chance that they desperately needed for them to clap back and make their way back into the game.
Is this the opening that ABM had been looking for since the start of the game? What an insane defense coming in from their side. LCF just failed to get that base. It's just at 1% of its HP, but now ABM is the one starting off on that lot. The feather airstrike has been used up, which means there is going to be no one to zone out the Moskov this time, and he's finally melting the members of Team LCF as we expected to see from the first minute itself. And Lucas steals away the Lord. And Anti, he has been using up his ultimate as much as possible. Good opportunity for the side of Team ABM to try and chase down the members of LCF, but they won't be doing that. They will be moving along with the Lord.
Yep. The Lord should be the priority right now because even if it's not the evolved Lord, he is still gonna hurt, and you kind of need more defense rather than going for one person onto the opposite side of the team. So it's better if you back down right now and defend your remaining turrets that are gonna be helping you stay in the game more and more, right? And the feather airstrike is there to zone the Lord out, which is helping them really much. And not even one of the second tier turret gets taken down. So LCF, they have the damage, but ABM, they are also farming up. Moskov, as you said, he is starting to melt, and if he does position himself really well, then he's gonna be, he's gonna be the one dishing out all the damage, and maybe just go for a full man savage. But look at that, Rudy goes for the center point, but he will be forced to back down. Really low on the slither of HP, but still revitalize is there to help him out, and the diversion just coming really handy to clear out the minions.
Exactly. So I think ABM is finally back on track with that communication and sync, because Auntie and Lucas, they're moving together as a group, because Louis just sent them to the top to clear out the wave as much as possible. Look at our Farsa, the little model walking around, funnily enough. But then again, this the coming Lord is going to be the deciding Lord of the game. ABM, they managed to cover the goal gap and secure 2k lead in their favor, but Mint getting caught out with the Baxia right away.
Oh my goodness. He was about to use his SOD to get away, but he won't be able to. He got stunned by almost all five of them. So, but yeah, a lot of resources got used up just to take out one guy. And ABM, they can use it to their advantage. And, still get that opening that they need to stay back into the game.
Exactly. And as we can see, ABM is still standing strong with the defenses, and they really need to play around that Moskov if they want that Moskov to deal some amount of damage. Good strategy by ABM here to delay the minions going in towards the side of LCF so that they can actually sync the wave clear with that of the Lord, as well as wait for Moskov to respawn. So now we will be able to see that the final Lord dance of this game should be beginning. Whichever team gets this Lord has the better chance of ending the game, unless the other team pulls off another miraculous defense.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is kind of the mysterious, I would say, mysterious aspect of a game, that a comeback is possible in almost every single minute or every single second of the game. If you get favored by luck a bit and your timing is really good. But once again, before the Lord Dance comes in, there is a team fight that is breaking out, and he trying to go for Born Beta Guy right into the back line because he knows there is no one to no one to dive onto the back line, no assassin. But then again, Romcom is out here chasing for Mint, lands a kill onto him, while Puni, he was left alone, and he got taken down by three people. But look at that, Romcom goes for the pursuit yet again. Who is Peter? He will be getting taken down, but still manages to land a kill on to Rom-com right there. But Apex is the only one remaining to defend the base, and LCF doing the wise decision to go for the base directly. Apex is he's just gonna be running around throwing ejectors away because he's trying to delay the minions as well. But there is two minions right in the base. That is a full team wipe out yet again, and this time the face would be popped out for the side of Team ABM.
Exactly. So little mistakes there, and there is what happened with the side of ABM, giving away that Farsa to Asuna. Big mistake right there. But then again, good attempt by them as well. LCF with that strong comeback showed their prowess quite well, and we will actually be able to see a game number 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere because we will be right back with a very, very short break.
Alpha, my dear doomed king. The time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I want my I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
Okay, so we won't be keeping you from this exciting match because in this best of 3 series that is happening between Team LCF and ABM right now, the point is 1-1, and the game is gonna go to either of the teams. And we won't be able to know until the last moment which team would be emerging out victorious, because first match it was going on to the side of ABM, followed by LCF taking the second victory. So third game, once again, both the teams they are gonna be playing out their A game, because this is gonna be the deciding factor on to the caster's desk, though, giving you full updates on the game. This is your girl Zibu, and of course, joined by my big sister. It will be none other than Sarah. So, Sarah, right now the match is. The match, as we know, it might be in the hands of anyone. And looking at the draft, what do you have to say about the teams?
Definitely here last game, they pulled off that quirky little draft of theirs and it worked out perfectly well. The Beatrix has way too much frontline for her to just free hit everyone, and the Moscow didn't have the same thing. And that is where Team ABM just lost a little bit of that control. This game, though, we will really have to see on how they want to play this through. Is LCF going to go in for a similar kind of draft? Because this game again, ABM is the one who has banned out two heroes just targeted towards the Bonvita guy as well as Asuna, the Granger, and the Selena. This time, we will have to see what LCF picks up as their first pick. Is it going to be the Farsa, letting Asuna take that mid control all in his favor? But no,
Oh,
up on Raren's Lucas. This means that half the draft already, because just because of the jungle here, is going to be in favor of LCA because Puni's Lucas is top tier and ABM is not going to have access to that anymore.
mhm. Yep. Just take the weapon away from your enemy. If you can't deal against, if you can deal against a weapon, just take the weapon away from enemies somehow, anyhow. So that is what LCF is doing right now. Snatching the Lucas away from Puni and Raren just taking it for himself. So there might be a draft change, but then again, there are still a lot of heroes open. There might be the Suyo Joy is still open though, so it's still quite viable for the jungle position as well. Once again, the targeted bans are mostly the gold lane and the mid lane for now because that's usually what gets picked in the first half of the game. But speaking of that, Puni does decide to take on the Suyo and Andy going for the Phobias. So Phobias has been there for all the three games for the side of Team ABM, and it has been, proving out quite well. Sorry, Phobias has been there for all the two games before us. So every team which has gotten Phobias, I think they've gotten quite of, really, I would say comfortable initiation and comfortable zoning. Or what do you say?
Exactly. Purvis is just one of those heroes who just zones away anything and everything. And it seems like one of the winning conditions for both of these teams, if you know what I mean. And LCF right now, they picked up Rudy's Garot cards are definitely going to be coming in very useful in the wrong position. But then again, the Batang, which is a direct counter for that Suyo. One kill one and all of Suyo's skills will be interrupted right away. So this is looking like a really strong draft for that of LCF. ABN will really need to think. Are they going to get the carry early on or are they going to get their mage? Or is it going to be Apex on the road? I don't know yet. Because yes, last game the carry was banned. ABM learns from that mistake and they do pick up on the carry this game.
I mean, LCF they are going for a rather chunky, I would say chunky lineup. So you definitely need someone to melt all those muscular heroes, muscular beefy heroes that is gonna be standing in your way towards victory. So that is kind of a wise decision, getting out that carry in the first half because as I said, it might she might get banned out in the second half. You never know. You can't really take chances in this type of matches because it is gonna be an all or nothing match for both the teams right now, and a victory is at stake. And none of them are the ones to lose them out to give them away. So we are gonna be seeing a full-fledged match. But once again, I Novaria is banned out. So is it gonna be a Luoyi that is gonna be coming from Peter? Because if I'm correct, Novaria she is quite good for a Luoyi because her skills help, check for any diversions that can come.
Exactly. So ABM does have the first pick after this banning phase, and they actually skipped the last ban for themselves. They still have a chance to pick up on the Luowi as well as the Farsa, while they could have actually banned out in a goal lane, or the Moscow or the Beatrix could have been banned out. But then again, it is going to be LCF who will be looking to ban out a mage once again. Are they going to take out the Eve? And yes, that is exactly what they do. Because in the first game, the Eve was the main problem for all those
Mhm.
chunky little heroes. But, Team ABM, oh apologies, I missed it there. They do ban out on the Varza, and it is actually a
Oh.
Vexana coming in the mid lane. That is once again very unusual, but I think it does work, especially against Lucas to just taunt him and stun him in the team fights.
Yeah, and also Vixana is good against the beefy heroes, so she's gonna be quite a menace. And she got CC in two of her skills, the Eternal Guard and her Deadly Grasp. It's gonna terrify you. It's gonna stop you from chasing after her if her skill is there. So Vixana should work out in this type of team composition, and there we go. The Hylos to top it off like the cherry on top. So the lineup is looking really solid for both the teams. A Paramus is there to give them the second chance. And I think it should work out well for the side of LCF right now because they have the chunky heroes, and if they top it off with that second life, then it's mostly first one would be to soak up all the damage, second one would be to deal counter damage for ABF.
Exactly. So, and Team ABM here, they have a little bit more of a squishy draft as compared to that of LCF, who has three solid frontliners, the Batang, the Lucas, as well as the Garot Kacha. And then there is the Faramis to just deal so much of poke damage in the team fights, as well as have his ultimate for that second life. So definitely here, LCF will be the ones with a little bit of a draft advantage in this game, at least in the early phase, but we will really have to see how that carry plays out on towards the late. Is the heroes that ABM picked up, the phobias as well as the hideouts, enough to zone them out, enough to zone LCF out so that the carry can free hit? Or is the carry going to be the one who gets zoned out by the Garut Kacha as well as the Badang?
Only time will tell because you never know what will happen in this type of matches because both the teams they are quite equally matched as of now, and it's just gonna depend on the mind games that they are gonna be playing. So it's just gonna be going onto the flow as well. But once again, Puni infiltrating the jungle, but this time Rudy does spot him out. But he is getting targeted by three people right there. Puni gets the chance to escape and gets a little bit more level higher than Raren. But yes, both of them are level 4 and they might just look for a team fight because look at that. Peter is getting marked by Raren already. That is a first blood in his hands, double kill, going for a triple maybe, but Puni does make that retreat. So right off the bat, a two kills for their jungler. So it's gonna be getting more and more higher if ABM does not do anything about it.
Exactly so. And that is why you don't pick a fight with the Lucas in the early game. He is just so versatile in the early phase because the other enemy doesn't really have any kind of mobility as compared to what the Lucas actually has. But now the turtle is up and the Lucas does not have the beast from what is really going to be happening out here, Zevo.
But Romcom was trying his best to zone him out, but he was not able to. Raren gets taken down in the hands of Puni right there, stealing the turtle away from him as well. Double kill goes for both the junglers, and the score is even out. Goal lead this time, going on to the side of ABM. So it is kind of a deja vu coming from the first match as well. This was what happened, and the teams, they are quite familiar now what will be happening, so they might just be getting an what do you call it, an upper hand, because they already know what might happen. But once again, the mid is getting pressured out, and same, look at that. Phobius just being a menace onto Romcom, a solo kill in his hands. Rudy is getting zoned away, and Mint, he is getting that free farm.
Exactly. And as long as the carry gets farmed up enough, no one really will be able to prove that much of a competition on towards the late game. Because the Beatrix, as scaling as she is, does get countered by the carry once the Trinity is built up.
So yeah, so once the Trinity is done, as you said, Beatrix would be getting counter out, and paired with all of the chunky heroes as well. Because in Trinity, the Demon Hunter is there as well. So she's gonna be going around melting almost everyone that stands in her way. Apex just doing his job, going between jungles, but once again off camera kill, going onto the side of Puni, and Raren is the one to get taken down. So Puni, he just knows Lucas a bit too much, and he is able to predict all of the moves and counter all of his moves out. But with Raren falling down, the turtle would be going onto the side of ABM uncontested. And pressure is shifting towards the bottom lane, trying to go for the Born Beta guy. Four people are there. Boo is there for the backup, but he is quite away. But once again, they decide it's not the right time to take a fight, and maybe wait for all of the teams to get ready. But look at that glorious pathway first, followed by Eternal Guard. First one to fall down is Boo, not even getting the chance of popping out his nether realm. You have the second chance, but if you're stunned, you won't be getting the chance. But then again, that was quite a lot of resources getting used up for the side of ABM right there. Rudy goes for the EOG onto the back line. Who is Peter? He is getting charged down by the Bormida, gets taken down, and once again, Infernal Pursuit kicks in anti. He won't be able to survive that. But yes, LCF just taking two kills, 0 for 2 trades right now. ABM quite failing out in that pursuit.
Exactly. So, and you can tell how much these two teams love brawling it out with each other because of how long it just spoke and how long those team fights are just getting extended left and right. If one team gets 3 kills, the other answers it with 2. If one team gets 2 kills, the other answers it with 4. It just keeps going on and on. And from the side of APM, so far it has only been the Suyo who is doing so much during the team fights, trying to mark down the right targets. While on the side of LCF, that Nether Realms is the one coming in so useful. Look at that, the AOG.
AOG was not connected, but then again, the fight has been started, so they gotta finish what they started. But look at that, Netherrealm giving the second chance. Born Beta guy barely escaping, but Boo won't be escaping. That is true. Four people already down for the side of Team LC. Born Beta guy having the wise decision to retreat. Apex tries to go for him, but he will be getting away before anything more can happen. So overall, that was quite a great engage coming in from the side of ABM. I would say counter engage, because technically Rudy was the one who initiated team fight, but quite failing, because I feel like LCF, they were not ready for that team fight at all, and they kind of lack damage in a way because Boo onto that Framis, I don't think he's enough to cause quite much of a problem except for his Nether realm.
Exactly. And the Netherrealms is the only thing that is saving LCF a little bit of that trouble during the team fights and actually giving them a chance to stand strong against ABM. But look at ABM in this game, securing that perfect 6,000 gold lead in their favor. And now, within 60 seconds, they are going to have the first lot of the game in their favor. Even in terms of level, Pony is 2 levels ahead than that of Rarin. So definitely ABM here is standing strong. Let's give it a look at Apex. He's going into the dead bush.
Yep, going for that was glorious pathway gets used up, goes for the initiation, but LCF they decided they won't be taking that team fight because they are not ready right now. And if they take any more damage, then it would be quite hard for them to catch up. But Rudy still goes for the back line, commits a big mistake, gets the kill on to Mint, giving the kill to Mint and getting it more farm. But Romcom was there for the backup. He was able to burst her out, but NetherRealm gets used up as a defensive maneuver, and he won't be surviving that onslaught coming from Raren and LCF. That is a 2-for-2 trade that is coming in for their side, and the Lord has already spawned. So there might be another fight breaking out right before the Lord dances around.
And now that the Lord is going to be up, they really need all 5 members of the side of ABM to be there in the team fight because Anti is the major frontliner for that of ABM. But look at that, another off-cam kill for Cooney right there. 404 KDA on the Suyo. That looks very, very promising for the side of ABM.
Yep.
Except for Romcom, who is actually looking for those perfect positionings, taking down the targets which matter the most. And as we can see, Team ABM here, they are struggling a little bit. I mean, Team LCF is the one struggling a little bit, but ABM, they are just having the perfect time of their lives in this game.
Yep, definitely. They are having the time of their life, just reverse initiating the match and winning almost all of the brawls out for them. And the Lord is on their side this time. So the pressure is definitely gonna be onto the side of LCF right now, trying to go for a team fight. Anti with his pursuit tries to go in, but then again, look at that. Two big resources gets used up, but Raren does manage to get a shutdown onto Puni with that Lucas going against the Suyo. So that was quite a great decision coming in from Raren right there. He had to shut down the jungler so that they can have a little bit more of a sigh of relief right now. But still, you can't really relax all the way. You gotta be cautious because the game might be in the hands of any of the teams. But look at that, Boo trying to go for an engage, but then again not finding the perfect ground for an initiation.
Yep, and that is exactly what is happening with Hellscape. Romcom, he's traveling the entire map and moving in towards the back line of that of ABM to try and mark down Peter and Carrie. Because in this game, Peter is actually very vulnerable to the Dark Kaja as well as the Badang. But unfortunately, that trick only worked once, and now ABM is fully aware what Romcom is actually planning to do. And that is exactly why they are trying to protect their backline instead of just rashly engaging along with Apex's glorious pathway.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. Even if ABM they don't have the beefiest lineup, Anti and Apex are more than enough to kind of protect the rest of the members. And Suya is already mobile as he is, so he's just gotta be the independent man that is gonna be helping the team around, securing the kills, securing the objectives. But look at that, the recall was so so much luxurious that you had to zoom in, look at that Vixana, admire the moment that she is walking down the lane. But then again, the Lord is about to spawn soon. It is gonna be 10 seconds on the clock, and still still gonna be any of the team's game, because you never know when a when a team fight will break out. You never know which team would be getting the upper hand in the team fight that is gonna be breaking out very very soon. But if we look at that, ABM is already starting the Lord, while the rest of the teams are out there getting away all over the map, zoning every single person of LCF out, now going for an engage that is the nether realm getting used up defensively. Rudy, the first one to fall down in the hands of Mint, with that carry just melting out. Boo, barely escaping the onslaught coming in.
And with that, the second lot of the game, the Luminous lot, is also in favor of Team ABM, and all they need is one perfect engage. Faramis doesn't have the ultimate in this one, and ABM will definitely be looking to use that to their advantage to just go in for an all in kind of dive. But no, they don't do that. They're actually letting the Beatrix clear it out because Raren and Romcom with that synergy managed to take down the carry by camping it right whereof she was moving in. Peter, being forced to flick her out, is now left all alone in the middle of three people and will be looking to back up. Apex the horse, he is trying to run away as fast as possible, but it isn't really working out. While Anti, in the middle of all that chaos, managed to sneak down the inhibitor on towards the bottom side.
Yep, you gotta find your traits, even if it's gonna be the end of the match. The more traits you find, the better, the more advantage you're giving onto your team. And if we look at the turret, there are certainly more turrets onto the side of ABM doing their best, protecting all of the turrets that they can, and finding all of the traits against any of the side of Team LCF right now. And they're just all over the place, good checking around bushes, trying to go for a team fight. And already look at that pursuit coming in from there's pursuit coming in from Anti right now. And still going for more. Carry just dishing out all the damage, melting every single one of them out. And Romcom just the first one to fall down.
Exactly so. And Romcom and Rudy are being the only real sacrifices from the side of LCF every time an engage really breaks out. Because the other times, the Netherlands is being able to save them. The Beatrice is an insane wave clear, though an Apex is doing the job of trying to zone her out. But then again, that rocket launcher is such a broken little gun. It is actually being able to clear the entire mid wave all by herself. And that is exactly why right now APM still isn't able to end the game at 16 minutes.
Yep. Yep. The lane clearing capacity coming in from Beatrix. It is something that you need to comment about. And I'm just looking at the KDA right now. It's a 102. The Born Beta guy, he's playing it out really safe, farming up, avoiding team fights, avoiding getting taken down in team fights. And, who knows? He might be the final stroke of hope that LCF needs to get a hold onto ABM right now. Because if I have to guess, Beatrix, he has a lot of farm, but the thing is, he is not able to utilize that farm because there is not much of a good set that is coming in. So he's just trying to wait it out, and already the poking around the Lord that is coming in for the side of Team ABM right now just gonna be zoning the rest of LCF out. However, Raren gets spotted out, saying with Rudy tries to go for the backline AOG, secures the Lord, and along with Mint, So that is something LCF was looking for, the window of opportunity, and ABM just trying to just crumbling around here and there. The what do you call it? The injured lions have spoken back. They are fighting back right now, and that Lord Steel, I think that is gonna be the glimmer of hope that LCF is gonna be needing right now, because they are fighting back really, really well, trying to go for a full on out against Team ABM right now. The Lord will be marching from the bottom lane, and ABM is just forced to get back onto their base to defend that Lord.
And this is looking like a deja vu of the previous game where ABM were the ones trying to look for the comeback. But this time, though, is it really going to be possible for LCF to turn the tables around, or is ABM going to be able to actually defend this Lord? They do have Vexana's Eternal Lord, and they do have the carry in their favor, as well as Apex and Antido's on the map. But look at the Rudy.
Rudy going out too deep, I would say. Trying to zone, I get it, but still, that was quite too deep. But once again, another realm getting used up for defense. The Bornvita guy gets taken down. So, with that one mistake coming in from LCF, costing them two of their main members, which were their glimmer of hope. So back to square one for LCF again, and ABM just going on and on about the domination that they were getting from the start of the game.
Absolutely. And the now team maybe will look the perfect, and it's just a 3v5, but Romcom doing what he does best, trying to kill them, takes down Apex. Mint finds the triple though in answer. Boo is the only one remaining. He doesn't really have that much of a damage and will be taken down right away by Pony. The Bonvira guy trying to look for the wave clear finds Pony on the way and actually manages to clear out the mid wave. Will he be able to do it again? The Vexana's Lord,
Oh
she
my god.
sacrifices her life just for ABM to take the base.
Oh my. For a second, I thought LCF, they were gonna take the game, because there was a reverse sweep on the way, but it just got reverse. It just hit reverse gear and went back to wherever it came from. But you gotta commend the Bornvita guy on that Beatrice. He was playing it out really safe. But then again, before, as I said, the set was not there, and I feel like the Fermis, even if he gave a second life, he was not, he was not quite much of help onto the game, because, as we all know, he kind of lacks around the magic damage part. So they kind of needed some other hero which could deal the damage, because they already had three of the tank heroes, three of the beefy heroes. So they could have gone for an all-out burst damage hero rather than more of a defensive maneuver. But still, it did not work out even after having four four defenses onto your side.
Exactly. So much of sustain and so much of damage from one single goal laner. But even then, the APM did manage to come out on top just because of that Suyo finding the right targets and finding the retributions where it matters. He did miss one, but okay. We can excuse that little bit of a mistake, because in the end, Team ABM, they did manage to win out the series and secure the first victory in this Switch stage. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game number one over in the first best of three. We will soon be back with IGN versus Tartarus, another exciting showdown. So don't go anywhere. Get ready with your popcorns and stay tuned.
and then it's gonna be.
Alpha, my dear doomed king. The time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
In the arena, battle calls our name. Shadow rise, we're chasing fame. Legends born in the glow of the screen. Every move feels like a dream. Fight, fight with all your might. Glory waits under the neon light. Rise, rise, rise to claim your crown. Shadow rise, won't back down. Strategies unfold like a master plan. Every hero, every fan, dive into the fray with hearts of steel. Our destiny is all we feel. Fight, fight with all your might. Glory waits under the neon light. Rise, rise, rise to claim
dear doomed king. The time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
In the arena, battle calls our name. Shadow rise, we're chasing fame. Legends born in the glow of the screen. Every move feels like a dream. Fight, fight with all your might. Glory waits under the neon light. Rise, rise, rise to claim your crown. Shadow rise, won't back down. Strategies unfold like a master plan. Every hero, every fan, dive into the fray with hearts of steel. Our destiny is all we feel. Fight, fight with all your might. Glory waits under the neon light. Rise, rise, rise to claim your crown. Shadow rise, won't back down. Unstoppable, we're igniting the spark.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. You guys are watching the Champion of the Realm Season 2. Here we are back again with the league stage with an electrifying match, number one that you guys have seen. Let's move forward with the game number 2. Now it's going to be IGN versus Tartarus, one of the most awaited match. Again, this is going to be the best of 3. The team which has the most score will be placed at the top of the leaderboard. So let's see who is it going to be. This is Peachy onto the caster deck, and today I will be the voice along with Crucifix today. Hello, Crucifix. How are you doing?
What's up, ET? What's up, guys? Actually, they are going to
Looks like a little bit of a network problem from your side, so I'll give you a few moments to fix that up. But with that, I did little bit of understanding that this game is definitely going to be one of the interesting games. Two of the top teams in India right now, and definitely Tartarus, who are climbing up the leaderboards quite quickly. So definitely you don't want to miss the match. So with that, do share it to your friends, do do subscribe, do like, and with that, let's go with the draft very soon. Crucifix, are you back? Okay, a little bit of a network problem, but let's wait for Crucifix to come back. But with that, drafts are going in quite strong. Looks like both the teams are just banning up the respect bans as of now. The Gatot cards are definitely for Mirio slash Zaujin. There's this Harith as well. The Fanny, let's not forget Joseph as well as Respect. Both are very good Fanny players, so you don't want to keep it open. But on the other hand, we might be looking at a Suyu getting banned. Oh, a little bit of more into the EXP lane, such as the Phobius getting banned, but no Suyu ban so far. So this is definitely interesting to see, because there's going to be a push of pull for one hero. Will Tartarus take away the Suyu, or maybe try to counter the Suyu if Team IGN picks it up? So let's just see what will be happening. Now there's a chance that we might be looking at a game that can go a clean sweep as well, but first pick being a Valentina. What are your thoughts on that, Crucifix? Okay. Let's move forward with the draft. Looks like, the draft kind of moving in quite early on. I wasn't expecting a Valentina to be played on this far. Maybe the Suyu would have been better, but this Valentina was picked for maybe this high loss, or maybe the heroes that are about to come. Maybe you might be looking at the Khalid as well. So, oh, we are looking at a Khalid coming in, but this time on Tartarus. So, interesting picks definitely. But at the same time, there's a Moscow. The Harith is banned, the Granger is banned. That leaves the Irithel to be open. So the Irithel might be a good contender there. But I don't think Team IGM will be prioritizing, because against a Moscow you may be picking up a Brody. But now into the game number 1, like the game number 2, match number 1. Surprises are definitely here. And was Tartarus, overlooking the fact that Team IGN will be picking up very good ultimates? Because right now Valentina can pick up a Farsa's ultimate. You do have the Glorious Pathway, you do have the Feathered Airstrike, and let's not forget the EXP laner might be coming in very soon. Maybe the Lucas. The Lucas is still up for a grabs, or they want the side of Team IG to pick up the Lucas, so the Valentina gets a free pass for the Sacred Beast. So let's and wait and watch. And oh my God, Team IGN playing it right under the traps that Team Tartars are putting around. Okay, oh my God. What is happening? What is happening? I wasn't expecting, Team IGN to pick up a Lucas right there, but Team Tatra is moving ahead with a glue, one of the most annoying hero, and I believe that there's a little bit of a popularity rise on the glue this time. There were few of the games that I've been playing on the rank lately, and there were the glue picks like out of thin air there are glue being picked off, so I wasn't expecting that. But other than that, looks like the Claude is also making the way into the meta. This is probably like the third or the fourth match of the day that I'm looking where the Claude is being played. So interestingly enough, yes, I want to see how they will be playing it around. The draft is here, guys, so I want you to guess which team would be winning of the match number one. No, with that, teams have strategically played it out, but I believe Team Tractors they laid out their traps quite early on, and that was, you know, I wasn't expecting that. But let's see how Valentina will be utilizing all those uh, ultimates coming in. With that, shortly we will be going into the land of dawn. Let me know your guys prediction as well. But other than that, this match is definitely going to be interesting and a little bit of a fascinating match to see at. And into the land of dawn already, look at the Khalid's position hovering over around the Farsa, making sure trying to get the first blood. Kimmy as well as Zaujin, they play this kind of gameplay, but this time Zaujin has to be around the tank, sorry, not the tank, but the jungler, because they will be maybe losing out few of their members if they don't do it, because Kimi is definitely a confident set maker, so he knows that he can get out of the situation no matter what. But at the same time, the Lito already into the hands of Team Tartarus. That's a little bit of a advantage onto their hands. So with that, that's definitely going to be a good choice. But Kyle, he's not level 4 yet, so that is a little bit delayed onto the bot lane. But let's see what will happen, because you are definitely looking at a intense match coming up right from the game number one, because Kimmy, he's quite aggressive, he's proactive. Look at him helping Eden to clear out the lanes as quickly as possible. But I believe you're looking at Respect, who is a bit higher than Kyle this time. So is it going to be a problem? How is it going to be? Let's know it out into the game very very soon. But with that, Turtle is up now. Turtle, one thing is that maybe you might be looking at the Suyu picking it off. Suyu is a little bit of a level higher, but okay, wait a minute, Mirio. He's not level 4 yet, but which trying to go with one of the oldest strategy, making sure that the EXP as well as the mage will be a level up higher all together. Like, they will be getting level 4 together. That means the roamer is also level 4. With that, you do see 27 going in. Look at him zoning out Zaujin as much as possible. And with that, Kimi will be zoned out as well. He does have the quicksand, but the zoning will be continuing. The turtle being, poked left and right. They just want to, play around, making sure to give enough time for the Nolan to come in, as well as Kyle to jump in as well. But this time, I want to see what is going to be, because team IGN, they want to engage. It looks like a split will be here coming in from the 27, but at the same time you're looking at Raging Sandstorm being popped, Feather Airstrike dealing so much damage, no item so far onto his hands. Looks like first blood into the hands of Tartarus, but Respects gets a trade on right there into the middle lane. Now is it going to be an easy total for them, or is it not? Because Kyle, he is with Kimmy this time. This means there is a slight chance that they can make it, a slight chance they cannot make it as well. Mirio, he's getting attacked furiously as of now. Kimi will be taken down. That will be the Suyu who picks up the kill. Are they going trying to go for more? Because Kyle, he's quite low. He cannot contest. Team IGN picking up the total for them. Looks like they will be just moving around as much as possible. Team IGN who do have a little bit of an upper hand with the gold as well. So a slow game for Team Tartarus right from the early game, but onto the bot lane. And the creator, he is just farming up comfortably. There's no gang coming in from both of the junglers. That is kind of surprising to see, but at the same time, what is it going to be? Okay, oh, wait a minute. So you're quite deep into the jungle area of this. Nolan, will he be able to make it? Will he be able to make it out alive? And yep, he just did. So you will be just looking at how the teams will be moving around the map as of now and into the bot lane. That is some quite a lot damage. Can we look at the itemization for a little bit after this team fight? Because okay, 27 right on to the face of this Lucas. He's looking quite low. Not a successful split play. That means he will be taken off. Killing spree picked up by Suyu. One more kill. There's just like a few kills away and triple kill picked up by Suyu. Look at that. One kill by one kill. And that's how respect is rolling around. With 14,000 gold already into their pocket, this means they will be just rushing forward with the eh, objectives as much as possible. Now there was a little bit of a situation. Okay, looking at the itemization, Valentina picking up the glowing wand as the first item, and as expected, you would be looking at how Eden has to pick up the sacred beast. A little bit of a poking there, but I believe that poking was much necessary to make sure Eden doesn't join the team fight. Who has the Lucas Assault? But on to the other hand, Kimmy, he's zoning it out. So let's wait for him to wait for the team to come up because bot lane it's going to get spicy. So let's see what is it going to be because my boy Joseph he's two ahead, looking low on HP as well. Trades are being made along with the glorious pathway coming in. Zaujin makes the right call, but respect gets the turtle. You're talking about the second turtle, but Kimmy will be taken down. This means and the creator he's farming out. And top of that, I have already mentioned that how he's farming comfortably. This means the late game is going to be a problem, but oh my god, just few burns away and which will be taking down the HP out of Joseph. That's definitely a lot. That was definitely a little bit of a problem for Moscow. Looks like there was a role swap coming in. The Joseph onto the marksman this time. I wasn't expecting it. I just realized, I have been taking his name like almost for 2-3 times already, and I just realized it's Joseph onto the MM. So yep, that's definitely a surprising factor right there. But onto the middle lane, look at that Ferreira still dealing so much damage onto Eden. He will be taken out along with the Sacred Beast coming in. There is so much damage coming in from Team IGN who are trying to make the game almost one-sided. Look at that, 1 for 9, 9 kills already into their hands. They are trying to move the fight onto the top lane because Moscow is all alone. That means that might be a free kill. Kimi is there for the rescue, but they will be just sending them away. No trades made. Team Tartarus. The power spike is quite not there as of now, but you will be looking at it very, very soon, given the fact that they have a glue. They have the Khalid as well. The front lane's looking good, but the back lanes, they are dealing damage, but the only problem is position. Because Team IGN, they are zoning them out quite hard. You have the feather airstrike, along with that, let's not forget Zaushin. His skills are truly annoying. Who wants to be into the path of the glorious pathway, Why would you just roam around that? So yep, that's definitely one problem for the side of Team Tartars. But let's see how will they be overcoming that problem, or maybe not, because one last turtle yeah, but no, Lenny is looking quite low, tries to run away, and oh my god, Witch with the glowing wand. That really burns a lot right now.
Dude, for real, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that target locked feathered airstrike on the Nolan who escaped with the Cyclone Eye. Beautiful gameplay, but we know who's better, which knows how to control the map. The turtle has been taken, and look at that. Lucas going back to top lane, making sure nobody's actually pushing today. Moskov doesn't have an opportunity, but look at that mid lane though. I think there's gonna be probably a fight. Maybe not. We never know.
Yeah, look at them. 10 kills already picked up, and especially for respect, he's all farmed up. He got that snowball into their hands, so he can make the kill. He can come out alive. So that is where Team Tartarus has to come in and have to stop him up. So let's see if they are able to do that or not, because Federer are coming in again.
Oh man, the feather airstrike pushes people back into the zoning area inside the tier 2 in the mid lane. That forces IGN to actually have the advantage in the mid lane. They have a lot of vision. They have a lot of map sense right now. Oh, sorry, the map vision right now. They make sure that they actually don't engage unnecessarily. That Hylos, though, he's a big counter to Khalid, making sure that Khalid really can't engage in a fight. That Sandstorm boy is not going to have any opportunities with that Hylos and his Law and Order and Ring of Punishment. But then again, I actually believe that IGN have the advantage, but Tartarus still has the better draft.
That's true. That's true. Look at them moving around proactively around the map 24/7. They just want to make
Oh,
sure.
look
Oh,
at that.
Kimmy.
Oh, no. Dude. No. He runs away with a sliver of HP. Dude, not gonna lie, though. That gank in the bush, that was just too dangerous, even for Khalid. Oh, look at that, PG. Another.
Oh. The Sacred Beast is here. Mirio trying to deal so much damage. And the Moscow, though, he's not able to farm up. He's not able to position himself. He wants to try to go out, give a little bit of a lane push because that's what a Moscow does. But he's getting zoned out.
Definitely, but Aaron, the creator, dude, he has the advantage because his team owns the map. Literally, at this point, he can push freely and get all the items that he wants, especially with a sprint battle spell. He's doing a really well today. But then again, look at that, the Lord, the first Lord of the match, and now every Lord has that dash. It's dangerous. First Lord goes to the side of Team IGN. Another team fight, Peachy.
No, they just want to get more kills as much as possible into their hands. Now, the Lord already taken down. Now, into the hands of Team IG, and that it will be coming down possibly from the bottom lane. The
Oh,
passive is still there, but oh, wait a minute, respect. He tries to jump in. Now, there are a few members who are looking quite a lot off position, but Kimmy, he's trying to make sure that he is saving each of the members. But okay, 27 trying to make a entry right there, but I believe this is not the right time for a accepting the invitation for this team fight.
it's 9,000 gold gap for the side of Team IGN. They have 9,000 more gold. That means they have more items. They have more towers down. They literally have all the towers except the top tier 2 down. That means they have 5 towers in total, while Tartarus only have 1, and the Lord is marching in on the bot lane. Look at that. Maybe an engage. Maybe that Farsa is going to, start up zoning the whole enemy team. Tartarus might not stand a chance, but then again, they will be able to defend it.
That's true. Look at them. The Lord already here. Now, the passive did help them to defend this game. Just still 11 minutes into the game. But the bot lane pressure is still going on. Look at them.
Look at that, dude. Feathered airstrike copied by the Valentina. The IMU completely turning it around and making sure that bot lane tier 3 stands to lives to see another day. But then again, I think IGN have the complete advantage in terms of vision. That means Khalid can't roam. That means Nolan can't actually bush camp. That means Glue can't engage without thinking twice. And also the Valentina heavily relies on the enemy ultimates to actually be valuable in a team fight. And I don't think I see any ultimate except for maybe, Hylos or Farsa's ultimate that she can copy. Not a good choice. But then again, Farsa after buff, beautiful hero.
That's true. That's true. Now, looking forward, it's Team IG and not giving away any kills. And oh my God, another engage coming on right onto the face of Joseph this time. But will he be taken out though? He's trying to position himself behind his allies. But the invade, the buffs being taken left and right, that's leaving nothing for the Nolan as of now.
Look at that, dude. Valentina.
Yep. They want to go in for an airstrike as well as Kyle. He's trying to make a split push play. That's the work for an assassin, but which okay, he's quite low and almost he will be taken down. But will Aaron the Creator jump in? And that would be not him not jumping in. But the inhibitor is going down. Minions are pouring in. The base is wide open. You're talking about Eden, who's looking quite low with the glorious pathway wrong. Ultimate, and with that, the crystal is already off.
Dude, I'm not kidding, dude. Valentina really can't copy any ultimate that has potential value. Maybe the Lucas, but she's not at all copying the Lucas's ultimate. The Sacred Beast form is amazing. Valentina completely forgot about it and charged with the Hylo's ultimate and mostly the Farsa's ultimate. Not something that you want to see. They had a 10,000 gold gap within the 13 minutes that they played the game. And for every minute, I think IGN has one kill. 13 minutes to 13 kills.
Expecting a cutthroat competition coming in, but that was not the case. Went in just one-sided, totally into the favor of Team IGN. Wasn't expecting that, but oh my god, we got it. Good match coming in, but again, this is the best of three match, so that means Team Tatra still have a choice is to come back. They have the second game, they have the third game as well. Now, even if they lose, they are not eliminated. They still have chance to come up or into the next weeks as well, because this is just the week one. The games have just started.
Definitely, and the Champion of the Realms tournament season 2 that's happening right now brings out the best in most teams and also exposes the weaknesses of many teams. So we will be right back to see what happens in the next match. See you soon.
Magic is my life.
Dear doomed king, the time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are here to know if IGN takes away the game or will Tartarus make a comeback. And with that, let's start with the game number two, match number two. Match number one definitely went into one-sided, but this time, will Tartarus move around and try to do the same? I'm curious to know. And with that, the draft is already on Crux.
Dude, I think that IGN had the complete advantage because of bad judgments from the side of Team Tartarus. They could have always gone, Valentina, of course, could have always gone for the Lucas ultimate, had it on off cooldown maybe like 5 seconds, 7 seconds max. Dude, that was perfect of an opportunity, but they did not use it to the maximum. IGN going for that Harriet ban again, and Zushin. Do I really need to give you an explanation as to why Zushin is deserving of that ban spot? I don't. I definitely don't. Because that hero is annoying. That's always Harriet. Don't you think, Peachy?
True, true. One thing is that, it's been quite a few months that we have seen how you can counter it. But if you put in all the resources on countering a Zushin, what's the point? What's the point? How are you going to counter the other hero? So you need to look at that position as well. So with that, definitely Tatra is moving ahead with the Suyu respect ban for the respect. You will be expecting that. Yep.
Dude, I'm not joking. Last match, Suyu had a snowball and he ate every little crumb that was left. Absolutely demolished the team. But then again, the Fanny and Granger, I don't really need to give an explanation. I think that Granger could be countered, especially after the nerf that he got. He is slower in terms of moving around the map. But then again, Fanny is the fastest one to actually move around the map. And that brings us to the first phase of picking. I'm not going to lie. I actually am expecting that Matilda to be picked by any one of these teams, but I'm not really sure as to why they are not picking her. They go for the Phobius instead. I think that actually works well with the Matilda comp, don't you think?
Oh, it does works out very, very well,
Oh,
but
obviously.
Matilda will be
Obviously.
stolen. This is what I was waiting for.
Dude, last match they didn't even think about picking the Matilda. They actually went ahead and actually picked the Valentina and everything first pick. But that's a Valentina, that's a Matilda with the Hylos, dude. That's a good composition right there. The Ring of Punishment, Law and Order, and also the Glorious Pathway. Too much for anyone to handle, especially with the Matilda. They have a lot of mobility. But there goes Team IGN going for the pick, EXP pick. That's gonna be Lucas. And I think wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, Rome Jawhead, Jungle Lucas, and Phobius EXP. That's my predictions.
You know what? This is a jungle Lucas. Yep, this is a
Obvious.
jungle Lucas. Oh my God,
Oh,
it's coming back. It's coming back. I felt like the trend just died off suddenly. Like it was just like a few days,
yeah.
but now suddenly I'm looking at this.
Dude, Bruno, dude, after that, Malefic Gun nerf where the range was decreased by 3%, apparently, that kind of killed Bruno off and the whole fan
Yeah.
base. He's not actually that busted anymore. He's still manageable, but that Farsa, especially after that buff, dude, he's too much to handle, and I don't think IGN want to give the opportunity for Tartarus to pick the alpha in the jungle. Neither does Tartarus want to give Sicilian away. Yeve also getting banned. I see the ending of the ban phases, and I think both teams are thinking about their compositions and the enemy compositions well enough.
Agreed. Agreed. The first game it was kind of, team Tartarus laying down the traps. Now I believe it is the side of team IGN who are
Oh,
doing the same. I was expecting a Valentina to be picked right here because it would have been a very good hero right here, given the fact that you're looking at a Louis also coming in. But this time it is a Faramis, very underrated pick, I believe, because he's not being played a lot nowadays. But it's slowly coming back.
dude, I wonder why Faramis was not picked in the last match, but then again, Farsa is more valuable. But, Luigi is dangerous, especially with the diversion. And I see the Claude happen again. Aaron, the creator, goes for the Claude pick again. He played well in the first match with Sprint. He was able to escape most situations. He was allowed to, push towers freely. Moscow didn't have that liberty. I hope Bruno gets that opportunity this time around. But we're seeing an Alice in the jungle. I have not seen that in ages, especially not after the Angela Alice thing just died off for some reason. It never really picked up, and Alice has not seen the jungle ever since. But Alice in the jungle today by Team Tartarus.
That's true. That's true. It is the side of team. It is the team LCF who, kind of bringing back the tank meta, like tank jungler meta, because Raren,
Yeah.
who is primarily focusing on the fighter slash tank junglers, so he's much more comfortable in that, and that is how it just all started. The nostalgia factor is definitely hitting right here into the side of Team Tartarus. But again, I love how Team Tartarus are matching up the HP to the side of Team IGN. And into the land of dawn, here we go. Is it going to be Team IGN with the clean sweep? Or is it going to be Tartarus, fighting it back, trying to take it away from Team IGN? Let's see what is it going to be. But, mid lane pressure is already on.
Dude, Faramis positioned himself in such a good spot in the mid bush so early on and making sure that Louis does not have vision, does not have the opportunity to actually get some area control. But that is completely. It's fine in the end of the day because Jawhead and Claude helped Lucas get the red buff way faster than Alice could even think about getting his buff. They still have the opportunity to invade and take the buff because Jawhead is one hell of an early game hero. And Lucas, of course, I don't need to give you an introduction, but I think they go for the gold crab instead, and Alice gets free time with the jungle buff, dancing around, waltzing, while Faramis and Matilda help her jungle.
Of a slow game. I was expecting a first blood to be coming in quite soon enough, but looks like it will be somewhere around the total, maybe around the 2 minutes mark. But as of now, I definitely feel it is into the hands of Team IG. And talking about the early game, because AOE damage is definitely into their hands.
But then again, Tartarus really can't afford to lose this match. The first turtle will be spawning in the next 20 seconds, and both teams have their junglers at level 4. That means it's going to be an even trade. But look, I think Phovius is trying to engage too early, not knowing where the enemies are. I think Jawhead, Luyi, and Lucas helped the Hylos get out of trouble. But then again, position of Tartarus is amazing right now. Look at that.
Okay. We do see Mirio who is not level 4 yet, trying to get a level 4 from the mid lane. But there is this guiding winds right on time. Now, is it a turtle into the hands of Team Tartarus? But okay, there's a turtle coming in. Looks like 27 picks it up for his team. And with that, there's a lot of HP into the hands of Team Faramis and Team Tartarus. Because of that, they were able to fit into the team fight for so long. And Mirio taken away a trade as well. Oh, they're looking quite low, Team IGN, and they will be losing members one by one.
Dude, IGN just lost Witch. That means control is gone. Witch controls the flow of the game, and we know it. But then again, I think that Matilda is a little too low, does not need to engage against the Jawhead and Phobius. She knows she'll be taken out. And I think that's a good decision to actually back off from the side of Team IGN. They don't want to actually get into trouble because they don't know the positions of the enemies. While Bruno is rotating the mid lane, I think that's not a really good decision. And I think Claude knows about it, decides to actually do the same, but decides to go back.
A bit of a slow game, understandable. Team IGN away the turtle, yet they were able to get 3 kills. That is definitely a lot into their hands. But Jawhead, is trying to get a ejector play, but I want to see that flicker ejector play. Oh, ho, ho. Look at them trying to brew up a little bit of a team fight now. Hylos, I love his position, how he's coming on to the back lanes while, diversion is there. But down the total, looks like I'm having a little bit of a problem. But okay, I believe that was the Phobius who picked it up.
Damn, dude, Phobius got the turtle, just like 27 got the turtle last time. It's the experienced laners that have the experience at taking down turtles. But look at that, another team fight brewing. Jawhead inside the tower, trying to get some pressure on.
Oh, Mirio with the infernal pursuit, but he's taking a lot of damage from the turret now. That is not a very good choice. Oh, 27 getting eaten away. Look at them. Hey, wait a minute. They just, oh my, they just made a quick diversion play and making sure Aaron gets the kill.
Man, that was good stuff. Expecting that Phobius to just fly away safely without actually getting killed, I expected him to be taken out pretty fast. But look at that though.
Oh,
What?
Team
Oh
IGN
no.
are moving in quite fast, don't you think so?
IGN is taking it at a good pace. They want to make sure they have the dominance throughout the map. They have 3,000 gold, a gold lead, but not really something big. but I think something's happening.
True, into the middle lane. Look at that, glorious pathway is there, but no, it doesn't. It slows them down. But Alice gets away with a trade. Now Zaushin, he was the front laner. I do see the Claude coming in. Claude is there trying to give a little bit of a damage, but he needs to be a little bit far away from this Alice. He needs to be a little bit far away, and top of that, he needs to melt down the Nether Realm as well. So definitely, that's a lot of HP into the hands of Team Tartarus.
Netherrealm really isn't a real big. It's not a real big problem because Claude can always melt it down with the Demon Hunter sword, Corrosion Scythe, and well, obviously the Trinity build. He can melt it down, but gotta be honest with you, I don't think the Firmus is a really good idea right now. I still have my questions.
Let's see what will happen. Because in the mid lane, they are trying to get trades on, but Team IG, and once again, they will be the one taking down the turtle. I believe this is the last turtle coming in. Now, Jawhead, that's almost taking down a roamer, almost, but a good try though.
Dude, Jawhead was screaming and running with his arms wide open. He's just like, ah, and he was just running away. But look at that. Mid lane tier 1 taken out. Lucas gets to take down, like, destruction. I don't know, extra bonus points, bonus gold. But I think Lucas is in a little too deep.
Agreed.
Claude.
Agreed. Look at them. But he is safe. He does have Dexter to pull him out of that situation. Now, Team IGN, they have to focus on turrets though. And the same goes for the set of Team Tartarus as well. But Team Tartarus, when they come in a team fight, they are the ones losing it out. Surprisingly though, because they have the HP, they have the damage, and yet something is there which is not working out for them.
Look, I'm just gonna be straight up. I think the Alice works amazing. However, she needs a lot of farm before she actually starts doing a ton of damage with a Blood Ode. And well, Hylos, the max he can do is slow people down. Alice could work with that.
Oh,
He could also work with the Feramis.
oh, uh,
Oh,
ejector on from his space. He will be taken down, and the creator, he's quite low, along with which, but Alice is low as well. He cannot make a jump in, but you do see the Matilda making a jump. But wait a minute, 27 is there with the high loss. So much damage already onto his face. Mirio picking up a double on his way. That is definitely the fastest diversion coming in.
like I said, Tartarus really relies on a lot of farm. They need to make sure they get the farm. If they do not get the farm, it's pointless. These heroes rely too much on the itemization that you obviously have, but I don't see that happening. While Team IGN go for like a really early game composition with the Cloud, they have late game security. Jawhead, like the Phobius and the Lucas, dude. Early game is settled. It's the end game that Claude actually matters. But then again, they don't have that. Tartarus does not have that option.
True. True. Now, if they push it down to the late game as well, you have a Claude who's getting farmed up. He is already 502, and if you give him more kills, that's definitely going to be a disaster coming in. But Team Tartarus are definitely going for a
Oh,
very good push. But okay, the five-man diversion looks like they are out of position right on time. If they weren't, that's going to be quite costly for them.
it was right in the open. I think Team Tartarus knew that it was a bad decision to actually engage in that diversion. Played it safe. The Matilda was the only one giving vision on all five of Team IGN. Make sure and like made sure that Tartarus actually escaped from that situation. Love to see the gameplay and also look at that.
Oh, okay, okay. Looks like and the creator does get a turret onto hands, but the passive is there. This time, oh, wait a minute. You do look at the blazing duet coming in, dealing so much damage to Hylos. He's a tank and he's getting melted off quite easily. You're talking about the Lord also marching down from the bot lane. What is it going to be? The holy passive being popped off quite early, even before the Lord has come. So that means the Lord can survive it out. Like 50% of the HP won't be blown off, but is it going to be a
Oh,
successful defense? Because the Lord marching in gives a good dash. Now Glorious Pathway is slowing them down, but the ejector won't be stopping in 27. It will be him as well as the Alice right into the back lanes. Two members already announced for two members from the side of Team IGN as well, but the Lord will be successful defended, but inhibitors are down.
Well, I think the mid inhibitor is going to be safe. Bruno is doing a good job making sure he doesn't chase for kills, gets the minions. But look at Matilda. I think she was going a little too far. Will escape though.
Okay,
We'll have to
okay,
leave it
wait
with
a
her.
minute. Wind of
Oh,
nature,
oh.
but oh, Kimmy, no way he comes back near the Claw who has not even died once.
But look at the Hylos.
Oh, oh my God, that was a clever way of, popping the passive. Well, 27 was trying not to.
Exactly, dude. Love to see it. I think 27 was completely caught off guard. That Jawhead, really good stuff. But then again, I think Team IGN have the advantage. They know what they're doing. Their macros and micros are always so useful to everything that actually matters in the game. They also have a
True.
5,000 gold lead.
That's
So I
true.
think there's no opportunity for Tartarus to actually make a comeback, unless, of course, IGN engage without thinking about safety first. So right now they're playing really safe, and I love to see it.
They have the heal, they have the HP, I believe they're just lacking a little bit of into the mid lane. Stacking up a support on a support is a very good choice, but the damage from Team Icy and they're not able to tank it all.
Definitely not. I think in this team, I think a Florin would have worked better than a
Yes.
Matilda, especially with the Farmist. They could have actually comped together way better. And instead, they went for the Matilda. Like to see it, but there is no hero that can actually work with the Matilda properly. Second Lord of the match, going to the side of Team IGN. No stress. Lucas gets the Lord. Yeah.
Another diversion
Oh,
play, but this time Team Tartarus, they were aware of that, but oh my God, Legendary picked up by Aaron, the creator. He's trying to dive in too deep, but they were just, pressing down on the luck that they just killed off Kimmy while the Lord is coming down. Another Lord marching directly to the crystal. That's going to be a problem because if they are not able to defend it successfully, this might be a clean sweep.
a clean sweep indeed, but look at that. I think Aaron has to make sure he engages after thinking, like, well, obviously he doesn't have his ultimate anymore, but Faramis is still alive, and he gets the tier 3 in the mid side and also goes for the top tier 3.
So, yep, look at them. Team Tartarus, they are totally engaged towards the Lord. But wait a minute, Netherrealm, along with the Glorious Pathway, they are trying to disengage Team IGN. But Mirio, along with the Infernal Pursuit, look at them. They just try to jump in, but the base is already quite low. While, and the creator, that's like three members down for one. Kimmy will be taken off once more.
I kind of see why I'm sorry, Tartarus went for the Hylos, the Faramis now. They have good synergy with each other. Allowing your teammates to move faster allows Faramis to actually make sure he's with the team, well, to give the Netherrealm.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest problem is they need to make sure they actually engage together all the time, just like how they did before. There goes Hylos, Bruno, and also Faramis, making sure the mid tier 1 is finally taken out. That means all the tier 1s from the side of Team IGN taken out.
That's true. That's true. For a split second, they just left the Lord. The Lord, they were quite confident that they will be taking the Lord down at the right moment. But what if that was like, a little bit of an enhanced Lord and they did the same mistake? That was like already gone. The base would have already gone. But I smell which he's trying to brew up something. But he has to pinpoint the location. He has to wait for them to come out. They are freezing the lanes as of now. That's a very good choice. But Team Tartarus, they have to come out, and I don't believe that they will be doing this game. This mistake.
Of course not, because Team Tartarus really has themselves in a pickle, making all tier 3s in their side is completely taken out. Nexus has half health. Not a good decision for them to move outside, but that only allows IGN to get the next Lord for free without any stress. And I don't really think Alice, Hylos, and Aramis can work together as predicted. Well, obviously, to work with their team, they will need to make sure every one of their movements is synced together, just like IGN.
True. True. Let's see what is it going to be, because I feel like Team Tartarus, they are quite confident enough. But wait a minute, another diversion at the same bush 3 times in a row. Netherrealm is there. They are trying to tank up so much damage, but it looks like Eden will be taken down along with the Alice. The minions are there as well, but okay, it will be taken down. Bruno getting attacked. You are looking at the gold meteor shower is there, but wait a minute. Shut down on ahead of the creator. First death of the game. Minions from the mid lane is there. Is it going to be an end? Because the base is wide open, while Louis will be getting those damage, magic damage, right onto the face of Bruno, and that is a wipeout, while Team IGN takes over the game in a clean sweep.
Man, oh man, I really thought that it would work out. They actually got the farm they needed. Bruno was doing enough, but it was too late. It was far too late for his team to actually work together. That Hylos, Faramis, and also the Alice, all three together, could have actually done something, but that was a complete confusing moment because Aluyi used the diversion, came to the same bush. I hear lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, but that's completely wrong. Witch strikes twice, thrice actually, and
Yes.
completely wiped them out. Made sure that his team got the victory. As well, Aaron the creator got taken out, but that was hit that subscribe button and make sure.
Let the eternal melody soothe your soul. Echo through the darkness. Isn't it lovely, Quentin? Embrace the music!
In the arena, battle calls our name. Shadow rise, we're chasing fame. Legends born in the glow of the screen.